Hey, Monday, December 7th and Tuesday, December 8th with my regular kids as we get into Shadow Club and our quiz from last week and gambling, because apparently that makes life better for everybody. I have finished delivering books. Now, if you don't have a book, you're going to have to pay me because we only have the 2 weeks left. There's not much point in it. The Shadow Quiz is now late. You can do it. And if you want to redo it, because we had kids get like a 4 out of 30 on it, and if you want to fix it and fix your 4 out of 30, and yes, we had multiple kids in this class to get that score, you're more than welcome to redo it and resubmit it and get a higher grade. If you like your 4, I'm not going to stop you. I'm just trying to help out. Shadow Club book, we are going to get to reading today because we're going to start talking about issues and fun stuff from there, depending on how long you guys take with the quiz. Shadow Club page, blah, blah, for those of you who need it. Blah, blah. That's just, I figure if I keep reminding you, there's a good chance some of this will stick in your head. Then here is the IXL, which is now late. We have one more IXL coming, which is going to be later this week. I'm not doing an IXL next week. This week is your last IXL for the year for 2020. I mean, don't get too excited because then we get to January and I have to give you all new ones. I know I'm a horrible person. I can barely handle it also, but it is fun torture. Come on, that's a classic teacher joke. All the time, you get to late December and you're like, it's the last homework of the year. I'm like, what? For the year? And you're like, yes. And then January, like, no. Like, I hate you, teacher. Like, I hate you too. Bonding. Ooh, an Among Us novel. Nicely done. There we go. Now, as we get into Shadow Club quiz, again, if you have not taken quiz, you're welcome to be taking it while we're going over the answers. And then you can guarantee yourself a 22, which is a C, which is better than your 0. Chat challenge. So this is the new thing that was created by my students last week. Here's how chat challenge works. So to become a chat challenge champion, you have to place in the top 3 5 times this week. And then you get to become a chat challenge champion. And if you become chat challenge champion, then you get your name listed on there. Then if you are one of the top winners, meaning you win the top 3 the most, then I get to shout you out to everybody on Remind. And yes, if you have a Twitch channel or if you have a TikTok channel that you would like to get shouted out, I will even shout out your Twitch channel or TikTok channel. Or YouTube. Or YouTube channel. I will shout that out also. But you have to be the top ranked kid out of all of my classes. I'm only giving 1 shout out per week. But to make this list, you just have to place in the top 3 5 times for the week. And we'll keep track of it for the week. So last week it was Talbot, Maynard, Williams, Skullmeyer, Amisa, Bakel, and Duke. Jackson was not the one who got the highest. He was the one that came up with the idea of getting his Twitch channel shouted out. And then he was the one that then came back and then won almost every single Twitch or chat challenge after that one. So I was like, go him. So that's why I shouted out his Twitch channel. So for the others of you, I will shout out Twitch, YouTube, or I guess if you just have a random message that you just want to brag to people and be like, I'm the bomb and better than you. If you win, I will even shout that out for you also. I look forward to seeing who the winner for the week will be. All right. And covered that already. Here we go. Getting into our fun from here. So again, here's how I'm going to slightly change our gambling. Actually, no, I lied. Let's cover the answer, then I'll talk about gambling. So here you have haiku, which we've covered before, but the ocean is blue, forests are everywhere now, the little mouse runs. Using your little votey symbols, which votey symbol is the correct one, which one of those is the correct answer for the thing that is wrong. Nicely done, my votey children. And you are correct. It does not focus on one topic. My TikTok is my last name backwards, K-A-I-V-O-R-B. That's my TikTok. So here are our highest and lowest. Our lowest ones, we have a question that was at 36 and a question that was at 47. But because kids really committed this week to not doing well, we also had 2 questions in the 50s. So we have like 4 questions that kids absolutely bombed on this one. And then on the high end, our highest was 89 and then 91. So here is how gambling is going to work. The new changes kids have come up with. You can still gamble twice. Your goal is to either figure out which question was the highest or which question was the lowest. So you can find the 36/47 or find the 89/91. But kids wanted to gamble more. So here's the other idea my kids came up with. If you want to pick a number, like let's say we get to this question, like I don't think it was the highest or lowest. I think we got around 75 on it. If you want to gamble on picking a number, I will let you gamble on picking a number. And I will give you two numbers to either side of that. So if you pick 75, you can also win on 76/77 or 74/73. And you have to put it into chat. Like I gamble 75, and then that means I'll mark you down, and you can do that up to 2 times. Unless if you win both of your gambles, you get to keep gambling until you lose. And so I had a kid win like 12 B points last class period because they just kept winning. So if you can keep winning, you get to keep gambling until you lose. But then once you lose, you're done. All right. I know. Who would have thought we could add gambling to class to make it more exciting? Ready? First question here. Do I have anybody who already wants to start never mind. You already have a gambling person. Way to jump onto it. Now on that one, so if you're gambling 89, so if you want to, so you're saying it's one of the 2 highest. You're just saying it's the highest one then? Or you want to gamble it, so you're just going to gamble 89, right?
Same. It's 89. Yeah.
All right. And so Musgrave is saying high.
I'm voting like with the second highest. Yeah.
That's fine. You put it in chat or it does not count. All right. So Max Owen is going high because if I cannot see it, that's what makes it legal. Wow, Owen and wow, you guys are all coming on this first one. Now I got to admit, I do not remember if we did well on this or not. Ethan is also on there. Hang on. Wow. So and so much gambling. And Ethan and Ellie. So I'm assuming this means you guys thought this was an easy question then. Ellie, Lathe. Well, this definitely wins for the most kids gambling on one question. Jeriel.
Can we get a shout out for that?
No, for all I know, you're all a bunch of dum-dums and you're gonna lose. I don't know. I don't remember how we did on this question.
But if we all win, could you give a shout out? What?
If you win, then yes. All right. So I have Jeriel, Kate, Green, Blaze, Musgrave, Lathe, Pavon, Pierce, Rutherford, Snyder. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of you. It's like half the class. Wow, this is gonna be exciting. All right. And we have several chat challenges coming up too. Ready? This first one. Let's see if it's gonna be the top ones. And 89. Apparently we have winners already.
Yes.
Let's go.
Can we get the shout out on Reminds?
Not on Remind. I'm going to shout it out to my other classes, though. The fact that you guys, after we get to this question, I'll let my other classes know that you guys all banked hard on this. Nicely done.
Tell them to watch Blaze Gaming on YouTube.
Not till you win. Nice try. You're not going to sucker me into free advertising. All right.
Nice try, though.
Crossing out. All right. Wow. Apparently that was a good gamble to jump on. I did not remember if it was a good one or not. I was kind of hoping you guys were going to lose. All right. Well, question 2. Which of these definitions would be the strongest literal definition of the idiom, this quiz is a piece of cake? All right. So throwing it in there. Hang on 1 second. I have to do the thing before I forget. There we go. Resetting the gamble. All right. So what are your? Ooh, I see.
How dare you in the second one?
And nice. And,
how dare you? Cakes is great.
I agree. It should have been crying face because the literal definition is where you take it word for word. So you have to change quiz to small test, piece to slice, and then cake to yummy dessert. So it's where you're taking it word for word. All right. Do I have anyone gambling on this one? The gamblers here, checking chat, giving you a moment. And, ooh, Blaze. So Blaze, if you lose, that means you are done gambling because it is your second one. You only get to keep gambling if you win, just so you're aware. All right, so I have Blaze coming in at 79. And
I specifically gamble 79.
all right. And let's find out. Correct answer is 47. This was our second lowest one.
God.
Kids completely messed this one up. I was also as shocked as you guys. Apparently,
Can I see the one? Can I see the one that's the? I mean, the answer that's the most chosen.
at the end, yes, because I have to jump out of this and go over to Canvas. I can look it up to let you guys know. But yeah, apparently this would be, of course, why a lot of kids have still not turned in the idiom homework. So I'm guessing they never wrote down their idiom notes, even though I gave them to you. And so a lot of kids had no idea what to do for this one. So yeah, if I remember right, most kids went for this quiz is super easy. I think that was the majority of the ones that kids chose looking back at it. And I was like, that's the figurative death. It's like right in your notes. But kids just ignore me. I feel the same way, PJ. Question 3. On this one, I just went ahead and gave you the answers, but you can still gamble if you want. So you had to figure out the simile, the metaphor, the idiom, and the alliteration. So the simile, quick like a snake. Metaphor is a quick snake. Idiom, driving me up a wall. Alliteration, Sam slapped silly snake.
Mr. Broback, so
Yes.
like just like with the chat challenge, if we already gambled two times, then can we just still gamble but like no rewards and no penalties?
Sure. If it just brings you happiness, that's fine with me. Ethan, I officially have you on the gamble board, and you're my only one. No one else bravely gambling. All right. Oh, never mind. Blaze coming in at 50. I wish you luck on that one. That's going really low. And yes, Musgrave, good job. Correct answer is, yes, Mina, 87. So on
Why am I always wrong?
7, and so the answer is no. So Ethan, it was not the highest, although it was the 3rd highest. Not a bad guess, Ethan, but it was not that one. It was the 3rd highest. So unfortunately, though, it did cost you a point, and you are out of gambles. But happy birthday, Ethan. Happy. Ethan, is that a new birthday hat? Nice. I thought it might be. All right. Question number 4. How does, it should not say the Richard Cory. How does Richard Cory poem, how does the Richard Cory poem, that makes sense, demonstrate irony? So which one of those is demonstrating irony? All right. And you guys are coming in with your voting. Nice. And I agree. Nicely done. The man who had a perfect life kills himself at the end of the poem, the opposite of what we expect. All right. Anyone bringing in a gamble on this one? Give me a moment. Looks like, and I wish you luck, Blaze. And hang on, my child.
I'm gonna try until the end.
I wish you luck. Lathe, gambling high. All right, Lathe, this is your 2nd gamble. If you get it right, you get to keep going. If you get it wrong, you're done. So you're saying high, and the answer is 87. Not the highest again. 3rd highest. Unfortunately, cost Lathe a point. But
I gambled.
You were close. And then to there, and then to there. By the way, I was low-key proud of you guys for getting this irony question right. So even though it was not our highest one, the fact that you guys did so well makes me happy. So go you guys on the irony question. 5, what emotion or feeling do the speaker in Richard Cory, the one where the guy did the whole dying thing and the people were talking about him, and the angels from Annabelle Lee have in common? So what do they have in common? All right, come on, my hand signs here. And nice. And well, all right, you guys make it look so easy. You are correct. Jealousy was the correct answer. The people in town want to be him, so they're jealous. And the people, and then the angels wanted to have their love, so they were jealous. Just like I'm jealous of the kid taunting me with combing his hair, it makes me jealous. Also, it's that same level of jealousy as you go through and comb your hair. I'm going to comb my hair at the same time. That way we can bond over our hair combing. All right, so we have Kasopa and Owen, who are both gambling. All right, let me put you guys down for gamble. Kasopa and Owen.
I said it 3 times. Gambling high.
Yeah, but you're out of gamble, so you can't.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to see if I can do it.
That's fine. I'm not stopping you. I'm just not saying your name. And
But why
Casilda.
not? But why not?
Because-
Then you can further humiliate
Yep.
me in front of the other kids if I get it wrong.
Nope. Good try though. Tamara is low. I only say the ones that are official for points. And Jermaine, Jermaine goes the other direction. Jermaine goes high. Wow. Jermaine goes high. Others go low. This is quite the exciting one. All right. Correct answer is, let's see. So if you're saying low, that means we're at 36. If you're saying high, it's at the 89.91. The answer is 51. It was not the lowest, but it was definitely an awful one. So no points on there. So that cost, let's see, that was.
Yeah, that could have had 3 answers. Sadness. Like for anger, because the angels hated that they had so much love, and the speaker also hated the angels because he thinks he killed his girl. So anger and hatred could have also been the answer.
Except for the fact that it's not saying how does the speaker of Annabelle Lee feel. It says how does the speaker in Richard Cory feel? The one that says I wished that I was him. It says how do the angels feel? And the angels were jealous. So in that one, unfortunately, yeah, jealousy was the only one that worked in there. And I even went over this one in class to try and help you. I said both of those answers multiple times to try and help you guys, where I kept saying the angels feel jealous. We talked about jealousy. And I said, hey, look, these people are I even made that a chat challenge, by the way, having you guys make that connection of jealousy over Richard Cory. So I was trying to help you on that one. But yeah, unfortunately, I think you just read that question wrong and you were thinking that it was the speaker in Annabelle Lee, but it was the speaker in Richard Cory. We'll chalk it up to that one. But no winners on that one, unfortunately. Question 6. Ooh, this is our first chat challenge, and we have 3 chat challenges coming up in a row. All right, so on this one, using the tone of the writing, which the following similes could have been in the poem Annabelle Lee. So here's our first chat challenge. Hang on, chat challenge. Although Jerry L, I do respect you fighting for what you thought was right. All right, here is your first chat challenge. Looking at thumbs up one that says, the wind hit dude and killed him like a linebacker tackling a mannequin stuffed with kittens. Your chat challenge is, and wait until it pops up in chat, why is that answer wrong? Thumbs up is a wrong answer. Why is thumbs up a wrong answer? So again, if you are the top answer, you get a point. If you're in the top 3, I keep track to see if you can get 5 in the top 3. So I will announce who the top 3 people are. All right, so I'm giving you a second to write it down. I'm watching people do typey things. So I'm watching the typing happen. All right, I think we're good. All right, and chat challenge is in. We have, and the correct answer is, it was not in the poem is correct. That never happens. Blaze is my first one with the win. That gives him a point.
I got my point back. Ha!
And Jerry L is second, who is no points, but is on the list. And Antoinette is third. Those are my top 3. Blaze, Jerry L, Antoinette, and PJ, you were 4th, just so you want. And Mina, you were 5th, just so you're aware on that one. All right. Antoinette, are you also gambling on this one also? All right, so Antoinette, I almost missed yours on there. So Antoinette says she is gambling low. All right. And, Ellie is gambling low. Oh, hang on. Let me back up. I'm not doing Antoinette. Hold on the gambling one because we're going to come back to that. You're going to distract me. So I have to give you, we have another chat challenge. Go to clappy hands. That's my next chat challenge on clappy hands, where it says, the angels were angry sky goblins raining down hate upon Annabelle Lee and Dude. So my question again is, why is that not the right answer? Going to clappy hands. Why is that not the right answer?
Is there another chat challenge?
This is another chat challenge. So we're not doing gambling yet. This is a chat
What's
challenge.
the question again? I spaced out.
It happens to the best of us. On clappy hands, the one about the angels being angry sky goblins, why was that the wrong answer? Because I had a lot of kids choose it. Explain why that one was wrong. All right. And give you a moment. Watching kids still type. So I'm giving typey things. I'm watching eyeballs go back and forth. which usually means people are typing. By the way, those of you who have your screens off, I don't know if you're answering or not, so I'm not waiting on you. It's the kids whose screens are on. I'm watching their eyeballs go back and forth as they type a thing. So that's usually what, or Antoinette, who's just getting attacked by moths. All right, and then ready, chat, challenge is in. What do we have? And the correct answer is, it's a metaphor. Blaze, no points, but that is his second top win. Not a period, no. Metaphor is not a simile. Antoinette is with the official win for points and in the top 3.
On my screen, it said I did it before the chat challenge, but on your screen, it says I did it after.
Yep, you are correct.
Nice.
And Finley, no like or as. I will count that. Finley, you are my 3rd winner. Nicely done, Finley. Then say 4th was Delaney, you were 4th. And PJ, you were 5th. Nicely done. All right.
Oh, I read the question wrong.
Well, that definitely makes it tougher. That one I can't help you with. All right. Here is our last chat challenge on this one. Going down to crying face. Crying face. Why is that one wrong? That says Annabelle Lee's family buried her in the ground like a flagpole on the 4th of July. Why was that an incorrect answer? All right. So that'll be your next chat challenge. All right, hang on 1 second as you're typing. I have to check a message from my daughter to make sure she's okay. All right, okay. Okay, ready? And chat. Challenge is it? Oh, someone came in early. Sorry. Let's see. Wow. 3 of you came in too soon. I apologize. Blaze, look at that. 3 in a row, Blaze.
Yeah, I should get a shout out just for that.
Delaney, you are my first one with the actual points, and Ethan places in the top 3. Nicely done. 4th place, no Max, but a good try. PJ, you were 4th, and Lily, you were 5th. And who came in too early? Mina, Finley, and Antoinette.
Actually,
so you guys
technically,
had the right answers.
Ellie was
just
5th.
too early.
Yeah,
Ellie. Lily.
Ellie was the 5th because she said nothing to do with the story.
Yeah, but that's not quite the right answer. It's more the fact that she wasn't buried, which is why I skipped over Ellie on that one. So it's not quite the right answer. So the correct answer was, dude was as crazy as Mr. Broviac, because that is a simile, and it actually connects to things in the story. All right. Now, if you want to gamble, I know, PJ, you're right there every time. I feel for you, man. You're just right outside that one. All right, so now if you're gambling, I will take your gambles. All right, so now Antoinette with a gamble. And let's see, Snyder with a gamble. And Max with a gamble. Uh-oh. You guys are feeling strong on this one.
PJ, I'll shout out for you on Reminds.
Jeriel, you did not, no. And Lily with a gamble. And all right, that's all I have. All right, making sure. Let's see, you guys are all gambling low. And Delaney coming at the last second with a low gamble. So you guys are all saying this is the 47 or the 36? 36, 47, I don't know which one it is. All right, and then Jeriel with a low gamble. All right, and Jermaine, wow. So Jeriel, this is your second one. Jermaine, this is your second one. All right, and correct percentage was 36%. Those of you who gambled low, you are correct. Let's see, that was Delaney stepping in with a win, and that is Jeriel stepping in with a win. Jeriel, you do have another gamble because you have won both of yours. Jermaine with a win, and that is Antoinette with a win, and Antoinette, you still have a gamble available because you've won twice. Lily with a win, and what else we have? Max with a win, and Max, you've also won both of yours, and Snyder with a win, who has also won both of hers. Wow, you guys have a lot, and you guys are trying to take me today. All right, let's see what happens. Ooh, chat challenge. Let's come to here and get ready. What is the name of the special place where they hold their secret thing? And so this is a one-word
Chat
answer.
challenge?
This is a chat challenge. Right now, chat challenge is being activated. Let's see, I'm giving you guys a second to type. Again, those of you who I see faces, I'm trying to make sure I'm waiting. All right. And watching eyeballs, watching eyeballs. All right, I think we're good. Here we go. Chat challenge is there. All right. Whew. It didn't connect the first time. Ooh, there's a lot of you raining in on that one. All right, and chat challenge. All right, that would have been. I have to go back up a little bit because unfortunately I'm not counting that against you. That was my fault. All right, because I tried to hit it and it didn't work the first time. A lot of you guys did it and it should have. All right, so that would be not the woods. Correct answer is Stonehenge. Ethan with the win. So Ethan, that is puts you officially on the board, Ethan. And then second place was Mina. Nicely done, Mina. No points, but you're in the top 3. And Jerry L, which gives them 2 top 3 places. Nicely done. And then Blaze came in 4th, and who was 5th? And Delaney coming in 5th.
Oh, darkness smiles, friends.
Ooh, Simon and Garfunkel. There you go, Stonehenge. All right. Now, do I have anyone gambling on this one? Yes, oh, that is an adorable puppers. Let's see, going again. I think we've now done the highs and lows. Anyway, you pick a number. Right. It looks like I have no one. So let's go with the answer being 72%. This one was right in the middle, which was sort of weird since I gave you guys the answer a whole bunch of times, but oh well. Here we go. Why does Randall, Cheryl's brother, decide to join the Shadow Club? So this all came from chapter 4 to see which kids had actually read chapter 4. Voting hands. Let's see what we have with our voting hands on this one. And nicely done. Drew Landers always beats him in swimming. This is where we get to find out more about them. Do we have anyone wanting to gamble here? A moment on the gamble for this one. Apparently, doesn't look like anyone's coming in yet, unless I'm missing it. All right. Oh, never mind. Antoinette going at 85. Bold move, Antoinette. All right. If you win, you get to keep going. If you lose, you're done. Max. All right, same thing, Max. Max is at 80, and Ellie is at, wow. Keeping it exciting, and Ellie's at 80. All right, we've got 3 gamblers. All 3 of them are 2-time winners. Ready? And the correct answer is 83%. So what does that bring us? Dang it. That does mean Antoinette won. 2, 3. Coming down. That was 80. So that goes to 81 and 82. Max, you did not. You missed it by one. I'm sorry, Max. You already figured that out. I can tell by your expression. I'm sorry, Max. And then that looks like also Ellie, you also missed it by 1. I apologize again. That's like the worst gambling beat ever, is when you miss it by 1 point. I feel you on that one. But Antoinette, you are still gambling. All right. And the worst part is I feel bad they were that close. You know what? I feel bad enough. Here's what I'm going to do. Ellie, and who was the other kid? Max. Because you are 1 point away, you're done gambling, but I'm not charging you the point for losing. I figure since you were 1 point away, I feel bad you being that close. So you're still done gambling, but I'm not going to charge you the point. So you're still at the same 9 points. All right. Question 9. What do the kids have to admit to before being allowed to join to the Shadow Club? All right. Throw voting hands in on this one. And you are correct that they are second best at something. Nicely done. All right. And then, oh, Antoinette, you're voting high? All right. We had both the high ones. So this is, all right, 89, 91. I think we have one more left, right? All right. So Antoinette's voting high. And here I am hoping Antoinette does not win again.
Wait, so we only have the high one left?
I think so. I think we have one more high one left. I don't remember either. And PJ is inspired by Antoinette. He's trying to ride your coattails. It could work out for him. All right, they're my only two. And Jeriel. All right, Jeriel's also going high. Let's find out. So I have 3 of you, which means you're aiming for the 89.91 and 87. And they're knocked off. It takes them from there. It was not one of the highest ones. So Jeriel cost a point. Antoinette cost a point. PJ cost a point. Nicely done.
I'm sorry, Antoinette. You came this far.
I know she went that far, and then it's all right. What's important is that it was entertaining for me.
Max said he's leaving. Max said he's leaving.
He pouted and he left. I accept that. Since you just won, Antoinette, you're now at like 52, I think, somewhere around there. So you've broken 50. So go you. All right, here's our next chat challenge.
I've broken 50 like 2 months ago.
You are correct. Here's your chat challenge. What literary term from the plot mountain, flat part, uppy bit, toppy bit, bottom bit, flatty bit, connects to where we find out how Jared feels about Austin and what kind of people they are? So again, this is your chat challenge. It is a 1-word answer. All right, begin. Let's see what we have with chat. Challenge is in, and boom, it comes flying in. Correct answer is exposition.
You didn't even give us a chance to write.
Apparently I did, because I had 12 kids answer it. Because Sopa with the official win, Finley with the top 2 win. She now has 2 in the top 2. And then Pierce with the top 3 win. Wow. Pierce with 3. Pierce and Blaze are both tied right now with 3 top 3 wins. Nicely done. And then see, 4th was, I hate to say it, PJ was 4th. How do you do it, PJ? That's almost like a skill. And then 5th place was Tamara. I'm almost impressed the fact that you keep hitting 4th. PJ, aim for 4th next time, and maybe that's how you're going to get in the top 3. So if you aim for 4th, maybe you'll miss and you'll aim higher. We'll see what happens. All right, you are correct. Exposition. Do I have anybody wanting to gamble on this one? I mean, we're running out of our big gamblers. So I just thought I'd check to make sure. And all right, so to make sure. And wow, this was 53, which would have been one of our lowest ones, which means I'm going to put exposition on another quiz coming up to see if you guys remember things. All right. Oh, ooh, chat challenge. Let's see what we have here again. And clicky, clicky, clicky. There we go. Once again, 1-word answer. After Jared tells Cheryl the Shadow Club idea is stupid, who accidentally helps convince him to start it up. So I'm looking for the name of who convinces him to start it up. All right. Hope we have enough. Oh, Max is back. Welcome back, Max. All right. And chat challenge is in. Let's see. The correct answer being either Austin or Pace, or I even took Loston. And well, the good news is PJ wasn't 4th, but he also was not in the top 3. Sorry, PJ.
Oh my gosh.
But Max, after getting and running away, Max steps in with a win, and Max takes the point. 2nd place was, Antoinette, who's now also placed 3, and Finley,
wait, am I in the top 3 again?
now taken 3. We now have 4 people who are in the 3 wins category. Nicely done.
Am I in the top 3?
You are. So it is Finley has won 3, Antoinette has won 3, Blaze has won 3, and Ethan has won 3. Then let's see, 4th place was, let's see, 1, 2, 3.
Wait, so how many times
was 4th, Lays was 5th.
Wait, I'm 5th?
You were 4th. Lathe was 5th.
Okay.
All right. So the correct answer being no, PJ. 5th, 6th. You were 7th on that one, which is like 4th, but twice as big. I took Austin or Pace or Loston. Do I have anyone wanting to gamble on this one? I'm guessing not. Just want to make sure. All right. And Six. I don't know how we had so many people miss this one. I mean, given this was like the part I read to you, but anyway, a lot of people put down stuff like Rebecca, which I have no idea where that even came from. But I'm like, okay, there's one. I'm guessing it's a lot of the kids with their screens off who just ignore me while I teach. So don't forget, those kids are also in the scoring too. All right, question 12. What would be a good theme for the story? This will require you to remember. All right, so this will just be the voting thing. Show me your thought. All right, there's 1 vote and 2 votes, 3 votes, and looks like you guys are doing well. I would agree. Correct answer should be sometimes bullies don't have to use their fists, because so far no one has gotten punched, but they all consider themselves being bullied, even though it's just words and talking and stuff like that. Anyone gonna gamble on this one? Looks like no. Let me make sure. All right, we are at 63% again. I mean, I thought you guys would know themes and stuff that happened. Anyway, that's why I was a little confused on the quiz and some of the questions. I feel the same way. Question 13. Why do the 6 kids decide to call their group the Shadow Club? That's actually wrong. There's actually 7 kids. I apologize. Counting is not my strength. There's actually 7 kids in the club, so low-key embarrassed on that one. All right, and then you guys are voting, and you are good to go. They're always second place to someone like their shadow. Nicely done. Anyone voting here, or not voting, anyone gambling on this one? Looks like we are gamble free. And this one you guys did well on. All right, good job. Your expression makes me giggle, but I feel the same way. Going into it, I have no ability to predict which, like when I'm writing the questions, I try to predict which ones kids will do well at, and sometimes I just fail epically. It's hard to do. All right. This one was a chat challenge, and I still put it on here to see how well kids would do. So which one of these was our point of view? Since we could not figure out who the speaker was for the first several pages, that was part of your clue to help you out.
If I still could gamble and the first place options were left, then I would have chosen it like I gambled it in one of the first place
ones. Except I think we've used both the high ones, so you know it's not a very high answer. So it means people still had issues with it. And those of you who said first person with Jared was correct, because it starts off saying I did a thing and I and Cheryl and stuff like that. Do I have anyone gambling on this one? Assuming no gamble.
You spelled Jared wrong.
I went back and changed it. Yeah. Jared. Dang it. You are correct. Boo on me. And wait, I have Mina gambling high. Hang on. Sorry, Mina. I almost missed you. Mina coming with her gamble. Apparently she's embracing what Blaze said. And Kasopa with the high one. Kasopa. And let's go with the 2 of them. And we're looking for the 89.91. No, 78.
You guys, you shouldn't have followed what I said. I'm always wrong.
Wow, that's a bold move to say. There you go. So that takes out those 2. That is a bummer. Our last question.
And I didn't know high was still an option.
What is it? I don't think it is. I think we've used them all, but I wasn't positive. I could have been wrong. What is the meaning behind Jared's nickname of Gopher? Oh, I spelled it correctly there. I don't know what was wrong with me before. And let's go with, you are correct. He has to go get stuff for the captain. Nicely done. Do I have anyone who is wanting to gamble on the very last one? Guessing no. And we're out of high ones, aren't we? We are. But Kasopa, are you Kasopa? You're out of gambles, but a good try. All right. So then our answer is, good thing you couldn't gamble anyway, Kasopa, because it was a 71. That was nowhere near close to a high one. Again, your thought is, but Mr. Brobiak, we all knew that answer. I would have thought so also, but apparently not so much. All right. Now let's get to new stuff. I don't know, we may have more chat challenges. Let's see what happens. Here are our checkpoints coming up. If you have paper copy of book, I recommend writing these in there to help you out now. Your next checkpoint is you have to get to page 130 by this Thursday, and except for my 5th and 7th, they have until Friday. You guys have until Thursday. That's the bad news. The good news is it's only connecting to the quiz, and the quiz won't be due until Sunday. So technically you have more time, but you're also gonna have to do reading on your own. Like, we're gonna get to about page 100 together. And then after that, you're gonna have to read on your own after that one. So I'm only gonna get to roughly page 100-ish with you. And then next week, we have to get to page 200 by next Thursday, because that's the end of the book, and the semester's over. So we're gonna get to that point by next Thursday. So those are our 2 checkpoints coming up. Reminder, this is what Stonehenge looks like. So now you have a picture of the whole Stonehenge thing to give you an idea from there. Then, real quick, we've now been introduced to the Shadow Club members. These are the 7 kids that are in the club. So each one has something that they are good at and a person that is better than them. Like Jared hates Austin because Austin is a better runner than he is. Then you have Cheryl, who hates Rebecca because Rebecca is better at singing. Randall then joins, who's Rebecca's brother, and he is a really good swimmer. He talks about the fact that Drew Landers is better than him. The other 4, Jason, Abby, Karen, and Darren, are all new characters that join our group. Jason was the musician who's really good at the trumpet, and he hates this kid by the name of David Berger, who always taunts him and plays against the higher chair.
Burger.
Abby is the second most popular and second most beautiful girl at school. She is beat out by a girl named Vera Donaldson, which is not a very attractive name, but apparently she's the hottest girl in school. I mean, don't judge a girl by her name, but still, I'm like, Donaldson is a beer. But anyway, and then you have Karen Hahn, who is OP because she's super intelligent, but always gets beat out by Tommy Nichols by 1 point. Hence her nickname, OP, for 1 point. And then Darren was the basketball player who was the second best player on the team and is always getting taunted by the kid by the name of Eric Kilfoyle.
Okay.
So they all joined the team.
First of all, I thought the whole story, because I read the whole thing, the whole story, I thought OP was a boy. And second of all, OP is a good thing because it means overpowered.
Yeah. If you're a gamer, yes. If you're not a gamer, then yes, I feel the same way. When I read it, I had the same feeling about OP.
Who is not a gamer? Who here is not a gamer? Raise your hand.
See, look at that.
Why? Why?
They get to make their choice. All right. Page 68. That's where we're going to start reading with you guys here. Let me get my bookmarking out. Page 68 out. Where's page 68? There we go. All right. So now we get to jump into the actual pranks. They've started it. They've set it up. Now we get to Prank Town. The first one is going to involve a thermos. If you don't know, like if you have a hydro flask, that's like a thermos. We have like the insulated and stuff like that. That's what they're going to be talking about when we get into this first part. And a lunchbox. So there's a lunchbox and a thermos for you. All right. Spiders and snakes. Now, I can't say we didn't have fun. No, we did. We had lots of fun. And the fact that the members of the club were the only ones in on it made it that much more exciting. They were nasty tricks that we pulled. We knew that all along, but we felt the victims deserved what they got. Our plans were so clever, so ingenious, that it seemed we could never get caught. You see, we pulled tricks for each other. Darren pulled Cheryl's trick on Rebecca. I pulled Randall's trick on Drew, and so on. That way, it would be hard to figure out who was responsible. After all, what possible reason would I have for pulling a trick on Drew Landers? I could get away with it because I wasn't even a suspect. Working as a team made it hard for anyone, even us sometimes, to figure out just who was doing what to whom. I guess every nightmare has to start somewhere. Ours started here. Lunchtime, Tuesday. It was raining, so everyone was crammed into the cafeteria, which still had the faint smell of smoke from the small fire the week before. Cousin Rebecca was getting a present today, but only the members of the Shadow Club knew about it, and we all watched, scattered across the room, so as not to look suspicious, patiently waiting for Rebecca to open that ridiculous lunchbox with teddy bears all over it. Darren had taken care of this particular trick, so the rest of us knew what to expect, but weren't exactly sure when to expect it. Rebecca was all smiles, singing songs from Annie to herself and friends because she had gotten the lead role. Then she turned to open her lunchbox. Nothing happened. I looked around the room. All eyes of the Shadow Club were focused on her. She talked a little bit more and reached into her lunchbox, pulling out the little plastic container that held her sandwich. I grimaced, preparing myself. Nothing. She opened a sandwich box and pulled out a wedge of a gooey looking peanut butter sandwich. She opened her bag of chips. Nothing. She laughed and sang and porked out on her peanut butter sandwich. And then she reached for the thermos. Oh no, I thought to myself. The thermos. Oh, how terrible. How marvelously, wonderfully terrible. I looked over toward Darren and knew that this had to be it, for a smile had crept over his face. Rebecca unscrewed the cap so the thermos and tilted its open end toward the cup in her hand. A small green garter snake slithered its way out of the thermos into the cup and then through sweet little Becky's fingers. It took Rebecca a few moments to scream. I mean, how often do you expect a snake to come out of your thermos? It took about 3 seconds, then the thermos went flying. The snake went flying, and Rebecca let out a blood-curdling scream that sounded 5 times as loud in the tiled cafeteria as it would have outside. But it didn't stop there. The snake landed on another table, and everyone there began to scream. Off it went into the air again, landing on some poor guy's sandwich, and his table began to scream. That poor little snake made it halfway around the cafeteria that day, and before long, people who didn't even know what was going on were screaming as well. Rebecca continued to wail with a voice that kind of sounded like the way she sang. Then, as she tended to do whenever life got the better of her, she began to suck her thumb. But her eyes went wide when she realized that that particular thumb she was sucking on had touched the snake. Out came the thumb, and the screaming began once more. As the chaos grew in the cafeteria, Cheryl came up to me and whispered, "Isn't revenge sweet?" she said, and it certainly was. The Shadow Club was off to a flying start.
Yeah, hold up. First of all, can we acknowledge that she's in like junior high school, and she sucks her thumb?
Yeah, I know. I thought the same thing.
My little sisters, who's 7 now, stopped that like 3 years ago.
Some people have issues. We just learned to accept it. Vera Donaldson, the most popular girl in school, had a diary that she talked about, but never, ever brought to school. She also had a 9-year-old brother, and as everyone knows, 9-year-old brothers can be bribed. With Randall as mastermind, we found ourselves sitting in the middle of Stonehenge with Vera Donaldson's diary sitting there with us. "This is scary," said Jason. "It's like we got some sort of Bible with us." Randall smiled. "Vera's entire life is in this book." "Dare we wreck it?" asked Cheryl, and everyone screamed, "Yes, yes!" We handed the diary to Abby, and she read all about Vera's little life, which really did sound like a soap opera, until we came across a juicy bit of information that was just the sort of thing we were looking for. When the meeting was over, Randall and Cheryl took the diary to the nearest copy shop and brought along their collection of dimes. By dinner time, the diary was back in the hands of Vera's little brother, and she never knew it was missing. When morning came, everything was ready. All of us arrived super early to put up the papers around school. Nobody suspected. Vera arrived at school and was greeted by a piece of paper taped to the front entrance that said the following in her unmistakable handwriting: "Dear diary, It's getting worse. I see him every day and I want to talk to him, but I can't. I don't think he likes me. I'm sure he doesn't. I'll bet he thinks I like all those guys that keep asking me out. I love the clothes he wears and I love the way he talks, but he never talks to me. I love his hairstyle, and he really has grown taller over the summer. I'm sure of it. I can't tell anyone, diary, because they'll all think I'm nuts. But I think I'm in love with Martin Bricker, and I don't know what to do. I was there when Vera saw it. She didn't scream. She just sort of moaned in disbelief. Other kids had seen it already. Half the school had read it. Vera tore the page down, ripped it up, but as she went in, she saw the same piece of paper on every single classroom door in the school. Everybody stared at her. Martin? You like Martin? Even Tyson McGaw laughed at her. And if Tyson laughs at you, you know you're in trouble. Vera, you see, is a ninth grader, and Martin was an eighth grader, a short eighth grader. If ever in history there were two people not meant to be together, these were the two. Vera's face turned red, although it was hard to see it beneath all that makeup, and she ran into the girls' bathroom where she stayed until at least third period. Martin Bricker, on the other hand, was in heaven all day. As a teacher, by the way, there's no way we're just going to leave these things sitting on the walls to torment some random child. I'm not going to walk in and see that on my door and be like, well, that kid's life sucks. Oh, well, and then I just continue with things. But it's a book. We'll just believe it for now. Just as Jason Perez had told us, hang on, my next picture's up there. Just as Jason Perez had told us, David Berger and his silver trumpet got all the solos in band, and he was always called to play with the high school band. At this weekend's high school football game, he had a solo that neither he nor anyone sitting in front of him would ever forget. It was a simple enough plan that OP had thought up, but it would have been easy to get caught there in hiccups. Stop it, hiccups. To get caught there in broad daylight under the bleachers. OP had a lot more guts than anyone ever gave her credit for. The band had warmed up and was getting ready to play. Jason told us that once their first march started, David wouldn't play a note until his solo came up, and that was perfect. After warming up, David put his trumpet down next to him. He didn't notice when it was pulled away underneath the bleachers a moment later, and then returned to the exact spot where he had left it. The song began. David stood up for his solo, blew into his mouthpiece, and a whole container full of green slime poured out of the other end. It was just the kind of green slime you could buy in any toy store, but that didn't matter. It was disgusting, and that's all anyone cared about. The band leader and half of the football team stared at David in amazement. David, still unsure of what was going on, blew harder into his trumpet, and the green slime blew out of the end and all over the band. As far as the band was concerned, this was the end of the world. They all began to yell and run out of his way as David blew into the trumpet again, sending slime flying. This time, along with a dull tone from the trumpet, that sounded pretty rude. It means it sounded like a fart. In 10 seconds, the band had cleared out and was running to the locker room to get out of their slimed outfits, leaving David alone, his face turning red as he continued to slime the bleachers. By the way, this next one actually involves him committing a crime, because I'm pretty sure this is like breaking and entering, which is a crime in most places. Oh, hang on a second. I had a kid accidentally leave here. Be nice. Come back. And here we go. I did not kick him out.
Sorry, my iPad died.
It happens. The next trick by far was the most dangerous. I was there because it was my turn to pull a prank. Cheryl and Randall came along to watch. Midnight, Wednesday. We stood outside Drew Landers' open bedroom window. Maybe we ought to think of another trick, said Cheryl. The lights were out in the house, and we were sure Drew was asleep, but still, no way, said Randall. This is perfect. Perfect. We have to do it. Trust me. Drew can sleep through anything. All right. Once he fell asleep in math, and they couldn't wake him up. They had to call in the nurse. Cheryl turned to me. Well, if you still want to do it, then I'm with you. I smiled and carefully removed the screen, then climbed in through the open window. Drew Lander's room was a mess. I mean, I've seen my room get pretty scary, but this was a pigsty. It was hard to walk without stepping on things that crunched. Drew slept under a mass of covers in his bed. We could hear him snoring more loudly than the roar of the filter on the huge fish aquarium in the corner. Look at this, whispered Randall, pointing to a whole row of swimming trophies on a shelf above the aquarium. Cheryl put her finger to her lips to shut him up. Drew did not hear a thing. He continued snoring as I very carefully rolled the covers away from his feet. He was wearing dirty socks. Moving a fraction of an inch per second, I peeled back the socks until his feet, which smelled a little like chlorine and a little like vinegar, were sticking straight up at me. I reached my hand out to Cheryl, and she handed me the nail polish. When Drew woke up in the morning, just as we had thought, he didn't change his socks. And 15 hours after he had left his house, an incredibly embarrassed Drew Landers had to explain to the entire swim team why his toenails were painted red. All right, for this next one, for you to understand how it works, you have to know what color blindness is. Now, when I was a kid, I thought colorblind meant that you saw everything in black and white, like you were like the old school movies. That's not how colorblind works. Colorblind, for the most part, means that you see the color red and the color green as the same color. There's also a blue-yellow colorblind, where you see where blue and yellow look identical. So if you're looking at the screen now, these three circles, if you are not colorblind, you should be able to see that there's numbers on each one. The number 62, the number 74, and the number 92. If you can't see those three numbers, there's every chance you're colorblind. Like if you see a 6, there's every chance that you're probably having a colorblind. Just kidding. That's a 6. I just wanted to mess with you.
Okay, phew. I was like,
sorry, I'm a horrible person. So yeah, but if you're sorry, I was like 6 of you, your jaws dropped open all at the same time. As soon as I said, you're all like, and so I couldn't keep it up without giggling. And so yeah, if you're colorblind though, those all look the same color, and that's a legit thing. So colorblind, red and green, they just sort of blend together into the same color. That plays a big role moving forward. All right. Eric Kilfoyle, the basketball star, was a sweater. Not the kind you wear, the kind that drips all over the floor during a basketball game. Antiperspirant didn't help his sweating problem very much, but as Darren told us, Eric would always roll on a sizable helping of antiperspirant under his arms before going out onto the court. The trick that Abby planned turned out to be much more complicated than it sounded, because not only did we have to switch antiperspirant bottles, but we also had to make sure that Eric never saw what he was coating his armpits with. In the end, we had to black out the locker room at the perfect moment just to keep Eric and the rest of the basketball team in the dark as to what was going on. We were all there in the stands when the basketball team came out of the dark locker room and into the gym. Darren looked up from the floor and gave us the okay sign. The team wore their warm-ups to the layup drills. Finally, when the game was about to start, the warm-ups came off, revealing the team uniforms. Eric's was already beginning to look sweaty. It was a jump ball, and of course, Eric jumped. His arm went up, and in the excitement, nobody noticed Eric's underarms but the referee. The whistle dropped out of his mouth. The other team had possession of the ball, and Eric ran down the court, taking his position as the center of the 2-1-2 zone. His eyes went up, and that's when, his arms went up, and that's when everyone else saw it. Fluorescent green sweat under his arms, soaking the sides of his shirt, because they switched out his perspirant with spray paint. So he used spray paint in his armpits. Well, the captain of the other team dribbled the ball through the defense, then stopped dead when he saw Eric's little problem. Hey, what's with the armpits, dude? Said the kid at the ball. Now, when somebody says something about your armpits, you have to look. You can't help it. Even if you're in the middle of a basketball game. Eric reached under his left arm and came out with a fluorescent green hand. The kid shot a basket over Eric's head to score. Had the joke ended there, we would have been more than satisfied. But it didn't. We didn't count on Eric being colorblind. I'm bleeding, cried Eric, stumbling around the court, showing everybody his very green hands. I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. The game sort of stopped as everyone tried to figure out if this could even be possible. I mean, if it was, Eric must have been an alien. Help! I'm bleeding! I'm bleeding! He cried. Call the nurse! And everyone was so confused and dumbfounded by this weird turn of events that the nurse was called immediately. All right, I'm going to finish this last section and then we'll be done. This is the last prank they have. The most obnoxious of our tricks was a double header. It involved two kids, and one of them was lost in space. If you don't know what a tarantula is, this is a tarantula. It plays a role in this next part. If you don't like tarantulas, you're going to want to turn your head. You see, Mr. Milburn, the science teacher, had a collection of animals in his classroom, animals that ranged from gerbils to lizards. Tommy Nichols, the ninth grade's foremost brain, kept his pride and joy in Mr. Milburn's room. Octavia, his beloved pet tarantula. Sometime after lunch, Tommy noticed that Octavia was missing, but try as he might, he could not seem to find her. She was not in her cage. She was not hiding in the bookshelf. It seemed she was nowhere in the room and nobody could find her. Lost in space found her, or should I say that she found him. I was particularly mad at Austin that day, so I couldn't wait to see the trick pulled off. You see, Austin had called me Gopher so much, everyone has started to call me that. I couldn't wait to get back at him. Anyway, it was a rainy day, so Austin, as well as everyone else, came to school in a hooded jacket. In homeroom, at the end of the day, everyone put on their coats and waited for the bell to ring. Ralphie Sherman saw it first. Hey, Austin, there's something in your hood. Yeah, sure, said Austin, because nobody ever believed a word Ralphie said. If there was something in my hood, would I do this? And Austin, thinking himself pretty clever, put his hood on. When he pulled his hood off again, a tarantula was sitting on his head. Oh! He screamed, running around the room. Get it off me, get it off me, get it off me. He wouldn't touch it. The thing was sitting smack on the middle of his head, but he was too grossed out to actually touch it. Well, just like with the snake, everybody in the room, including Mrs. Marlowe, our homeroom teacher, began to scream. Meanwhile, Austin ran around the room with Tommy Nichols running behind him, crying, Don't hurt her! Don't hurt Octavia! She doesn't bite! She's a good tarantula! However, when a tarantula is doing push-ups on your scalp, you don't care how good it is, you just want it off. Watching Austin turn white as a ghost was the high point of my day. And then, as if it wasn't bad enough, Octavia got freaked out and tried to climb off. Unfortunately, the easiest way out of Austin's head was down the back of his shirt. Austin fell to the ground, shaking his shirt, but Octavia would not come out. She'd had enough for one day. Austin tore off his shirt, ripping out all the buttons, and Octavia went sailing across the room. When she landed, she wasted no time in racing across the floor for a place to hide. Don't hurt her, yelled Tommy Nichols. She's tame. She's a domesticated spider. But no one much cared. While most everyone stood on the tables, Octavia scampered around the room between the table legs until she finally met an untimely end under the heel of Richard Ferguson's shoe. Lost in space.
No,
Her
Octavia.
once,
No.
I know, actually lost in space. Tommy Nichols had collapsed to his knees in tears, mourning his dearly departed spider. And Richard Ferguson threw his shoe into the waste paper basket, choosing to walk home barefoot.
I like tarantulas.
Me too. And I think this was the worst one because they killed someone's pet. I mean, even if you're like Lily and you freaked out because of the tarantula, it's still someone's pet that they just assassinated and killed. All right, last thing. I have one last chat challenge to see if we can break our tie because currently we have like 4 of you who are tied at 3 points. So here's our final chat challenge, and then I'm done and I let you guys go. Get on there. Get on there. For those of you looking at the screen right now, there is a picture from a famous movie that you should have seen if you have a good childhood. And so my question is, what movie is this scene from, if you recognize it? All right, so that is your chat challenge. Ready? I'm watching kids type. Letting them type for a thing. And here we go with chat. Challenge is in. And the correct answer should be, holy moly, mother of Jonesy Poo. PJ just took it, I think, with a first place win. Hang on, PJ, I'm double checking.
Yeah, PJ.
Step Brothers is a good movie, but not the right one. And PJ was the winner. PJ, nicely
Did you
done.
just see what Henry sent?
Into there. Let's see. Home Alone. No. Owen also got a win. Owen with his first win. And it was not Home Alone 2, but you did have Home Alone. So I'm going to put Home Alone and give that one to you. That looks like Antoinette. You officially have broken the tie. You have moved out into the front. So go you.
Who did? Who did? Tell me who did. Who did?
Jermaine was 4th and Ellie was 5th. Nicely done.
How dare you? Yeah. I'm coming for you.
Doc McStuffins was also right up there. But Antoinette, you are currently at 4 wins. You are the one to beat at the current thing. Nicely done. All right. I'll see you guys Wednesday. No other official homework for you. Take off.
See ya.
We took a lot of time talking.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.